Yes, we know that you're in a coalition government. Yes, we know that Greece is causing a migraine for the Indian economy as well, but the people of India are running out of patience. And we saw some of that anger in the streets. But I want to put that question. The minister correctly points out. Let me play those pictures once again, Mr. Seshadrichari. Best buses being stoned in Mumbai, in Karnataka where you have a government, buses were set on fire. Trains were stopped in Allahabad, in Odisha, in Jharkhand. Roads were blocked in Delhi. Office goers were inconvenienced. The Indian economy is facing a very serious crisis. How does any of this help, Mr. Seshadrichari?
See, the fact is, these things may not help. But the problem is, these are only indicative of the problems that are facing this country. If this government has not been able to control the economy, there is an absolute chaos. And what we have in New Delhi is a sleepwalking government. It's in the sleep mode. So you expect the people to sit quiet about this. Whether the NDA calls a Bandh or not, whether the communists call. See, today's Bandh was jointly participated by the NDA, left and the Samajwadi Party. Samajwadi Party is no friend of ST.
No, but this vandalism, this hooliganism, we're seeing it on the screens. Now, how is this a solution to the mess facing the Indian
solution
economy?
Or not? Forget the solution about the NDA. Where is the solution from the government of India? Where is the solution from this finance ministry? What was the need for increasing 7 rupee 50 paise and then now they are rolling back by 1 rupee 50 paise, whereas the petrol should not be costing more than 50 rupees. Where is the growth story for the last 9 years? Which bus was burnt in 2004? Which bus was burnt in 2009? Which bus was burnt in 2010? What is happening to this government? Where is the economy going? For everything you cite the increasing crude oil price, you cite the increase of petrol prices all over the world, you say Eurozone crisis, you say Greece crisis, and 1 year back here was the Prime Minister who was saying that because of our conservativeness we have been able to stand still and
okay, let me bring in corporate India into this, Mr. Bartlett. Do you think this government is guilty of trying to find fault outside the country? For everything you ask anybody in government, they blame Greece. Do you think to a great extent our problem is caused by the fact that our mandarins of the economy are not looking within? They're trying to find fault outside, and that's what's precipitated the current crisis, growth coming down to 5.3. This is what India and everybody watching this broadcast felt that we'd left in our past, that the economy and the Prime Minister kept telling us will now grow at 8%, 10%. We're down to 5.3. How concerned are you, Mr. Godrej?
Well, it's a matter of great concern that the GDP growth quarterly GDP growth in the last quarter of the last financial year has come down to the lowest level in about 9 years. We had mentioned to the government that it is extremely important to get the reform process going. Fiscal deficit has risen very considerably. The balance of trade, negative balance of trade has been very bad. Subsidies have risen. And it is extremely important that the reform process needs to be restored. It can be done. For example, the goods and services tax alone could add 2 percentage points to India's GDP growth rate. We need to have cooperation between the opposition and the government to ensure that necessary economic reforms are implemented at an early stage. It's no use blaming one or the other. It's no use having Bharat Bandhs to try and solve the problem. To my mind, we clearly need cooperation between the opposition and the government in getting the economic agenda ahead of individual political agendas.
Hit the nail on the head, Mr. Godrej. You've set the tone for this debate by saying that these Bharat Bandhs are of no use, Mr. Seshadrichari. The opposition and the government need to get together, work together, help unleash the second generation of reforms which are not possible without you. You can keep asking the minister what have you done, but unless you cooperate, none of those reforms are going through, sir.
Rahul, please tell me, from 2004 to 2012 till yesterday, has the government brought any single viable proposal on the table to discuss with the government, with the opposition?
They have. Goods and services tax, for example, the direct tax.
That committee was headed by that committee was headed by the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, who happens to be a BJP man, and that is one issue where we have taken it to the logical conclusion. It is the Congress governments which have opposed it.